Hey Nash, what should we make?
I'm in a smoky, cheesy mood. Let's make smoked Chipotle mac and cheese.
All right, let's make smoked Chipotle mac and cheese. It's fall, it's football season. Take your pick. Either way, today we're gonna make a smoked Chipotle mac and cheese. It's gonna be freaking delicious. It's gonna be super easy, not super quick, but not super long either. But also just super freaking easy. So hey, and without further ado, let's go. All right, so we start with an oven safe or smoker safe. We're gonna put this in a smoker. I like that because it's gonna get that extra smoke flavor. However, you could absolutely do this in the oven. So turn your oven or your smoker to 275. Take some sort of a receptacle. We're using this aluminum pan because we're going to give probably most of this away. However, this recipe would work great in like a big cast iron pan. Actually, it'd probably be even better in a big cast iron pan. But casserole dish, aluminum pan, whatever you got, it'll work. We throw 1 stick of butter into that. And then we throw this into our smoker or oven until the butter melts. Now, whilst we are waiting for our butter to melt in the smoker or oven, that's what you're doing, fine. We have to prepare one of our namesakes of the dish, the Chipotles. So we take these guys, this Chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, dump them out, and then we just dice these guys. There's no rhyme or reason, you know. We're trying to get these, they're already gonna be super soft because they've been canned for God knows how long. So we just sort of get these all diced. Now we have to address some things. Well, hold on, let's clean up some mess. There's a beauty and a problem to this dish. So this dish is a not cook, you don't even have to cook the noodles. We're gonna dump everything in, dry noodles, liquids, cheese, all that and let it smoke, and then we're gonna mix it. So that's the beauty. Problem is, if we do that, there's no emulsifier. So we didn't start with a roux, and the reason you start with a roux is to emulsify that cheese, meaning that everything sort of mixes in smoothly, and it does your sauce or your cheese or your, is it a sauce? I guess. Your macaroni and cheese sauce doesn't break, meaning that the fat separates from the solids. So there's a couple things we can do. We could start with a roux. That's one option. Another option would be to just honestly throw in some American cheese in addition to the other cheeses we're going to use, because American cheese is made with so many freaking emulsifiers that you might just get everything you need in there to emulsify everything, meaning that you keep everything combined. Or we could take one of our liquids, which is half and half. So we got 2.5 cups of half and half, and then we have this sodium citrate. Sodium citrate is an emulsifier. So we're going to dissolve this into one of our liquids, being our half and half. We're going to stir that in so it gets dissolved. And we're going to get back to this in a second and let it do its thing. And once your butter's nice and melted in whatever sort of receptacle you're using, then we add in our pasta. So 16 ounces, a pound, a box of normal pasta. You pick your poison. You know, you could use elbow macaroni type pasta, but it's kind of basic. I don't know. So we're using these guys. They're like these little corkscrew deals. Celentani. Celentani. I think they're fancy. They're like a kind of just a fancier version of an elbow. And then we throw in all our Chipotle peppers we diced up. Then we add in the juices we got left over from those guys. Then we have 1 brick of cream cheese. I think it's 8 ounces. I think that's what a normal brick is. And just cut it into cubes and just kind of sort of disperse it sort of kind of evenly as best you can. It's not, unless you freeze it beforehand, which you can do don't freeze it like solid, but freeze it for like 10 minutes or something. And then it might be a lot easier to work with. I don't know. I've never actually tried that, but I feel like it will work. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it'll work. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. So we put all these guys in there. Get over here. Get over here. Who played Mortal Kombat when they were a kid? I did. Then we go in with about a cup each of smoked mozzarella, smoked white cheddar, smoked Gruyere, and smoked Gouda. Just throw that on there. Make sure no man left behind, no cheese left behind, yeah. Just get that sort of spread out all over the place. Then we got our 2.5 cups of half and half that has that sodium citrate mixed in. So get that all in there. Then we go in with 2 cups of heavy cream. And then we go in with a tablespoon or 2 of your favorite barbecue rub. We're gonna go ahead and smoke this in our smoker at 275 for 90 minutes. Or same thing, if you're using your oven, 275 or 300 would probably be fine. There's not a huge difference for 90 minutes. And then every 20 minutes, we wanna pull it out, stir it around and give it a look-see, make sure everything's doing well. And that's what we're gonna do. So off we go to the smoker. Here's our guy. You can see everything's sort of melty and already starting to do its thing. So we're just gonna give this guy a stir. Noodles are still hard, but everything else is kind of starting to come together. So I think I'm optimistic. I think this will work. If this thing ends up tasting half as good as what I just licked off that spoon, we're in for a treat, folks. But hey, back into the smoker. Here we go. You can see things are starting to change a little bit. We're getting a little bit of what looks like, hopefully, emulsification. Hopefully our sauce doesn't separate. Honestly, even if your sauce breaks, this is still gonna be delicious. So don't worry about it too much. It's not that big of a freaking deal. You're not a French chef. I'm not a French chef, so I'm not too worried about broken sauces. So we're just gonna stir this around, like I said, every 20 minutes. So this is our second time. Hopefully it'll all work out, you know? Back into the smoker for 20 minutes. And here we go for the third stir. It is looking good. Just get everything mixed in, you know, just stir, stir, stir. Back to the smoker for another 20 minutes. And here we go. Looks like good news and bad news, but the good news is better than the bad news. I'll go with the bad news first. It looks like this is gonna take a little bit longer than we thought. Probably gonna take more like 2 hours. But honestly, look, if your smoker goes higher than 275, like mine does not, or you're doing it in the oven, you could do this at a higher temperature for a little bit less time. But the good news that outweighs the bad is that our emulsification technique seems to have worked swimmingly, and this sauce is just looking freaking amazing. So we just give this guy a stir and then back in the smoker for another 20 minutes. And here we go after another 20 minutes. I know this is taking a while. You know what? Be patient. Sometimes good requires patience. And holy crap, if this doesn't look amazing. I mean, come on. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, the noodles, like, you can hear this. How's that ASMR? That's all for you, Seasonite. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. You know I hate it too. Stir this up. It's looking pretty good. We could probably pull it now, but I'm gonna let it go for a little bit longer because I feel like there's a little bit too much liquid here for me. So that's just me. You could totally pull it now and it would probably be fine. I don't like my mac and cheese super liquidy, which is probably contrary to most accepted doctrines, mac and cheese doctrines, you know, the books of yore. They exist. We're gonna throw this back in for another 10 or 20 minutes. Here we have our guy. I think we're finally done. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So we stir this up. Everything about this is great. You could literally just serve this as is. All right, so we take some of this, we put it into our bowl. Look, if you're just serving this to a group of people, just do what I'm about to do to this one bowl, to the whole thing. It's fine, it'll work. And that's what we got. I know, it's not pretty. Pretty's not even my thing. That looks dope. I would totally eat that. But I'm putting the remainder of all the cheeses that we put in this guy. We're putting this on the top. We got this guy. I trust your flamethrower. Let's melt some. Don't burn your cheese. That's probably a bad idea. And there we have our Chipotle smoked mac and cheese. It's time for a bite. Cheers. This is freaking phenomenal. This is literally this is absolutely the best mac and cheese I've ever tried. It's ooey, it's gooey. Our sauce didn't break. Everything about it is phenomenal. Definitely do it. Out of 10. But hey, let's see what Nash thinks. Hey bud, how you doing?
I'm good. Been smelling that mac and cheese cooking for a while now, and I'm just hoping it tastes as good as it smells.
Well, check it out. We got this Chipotle smoked mac and cheese you wanted. And of course, we made you a dog-friendly version. Here you go. What do you think?
Wow. That is a creamy, ooey, gooey, cheesy, delicious flavor bomb with a Chipotle kick. More, please.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
What defines us is how well we rise after falling.
Nash approves, I approve. Look, do yourself a favor. Go make this right now. Seriously, you won't regret it. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you all. Love you all. If you wouldn't mind taking a second, go like, share, subscribe, hype, all that other stuff. Hit the bell for notifications. If there's anything you want me to cook, you want me and Nash to taste, go ahead and drop that down in the comments. And hey, if you like this video, go check out our other easy recipe videos right here. And just remember, cook more, eat better, embrace the chaos. That's it for now, folks. Until next time, be good and peace.